Hello, everyone. How are you? Welcome to Just Like You, Everyday People, Amazing Stories. This is episode number 40. Can you believe it? We are on episode number 40. I cannot believe it. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you so much for being with me for these 40 episodes. I truly appreciate it. We started this show on May 5th of 2020, and we've been going strong since then. I did take a break at the end of the year just for a little self-care and to celebrate my birthday, but we have been going strong, and I truly, truly appreciate it. We are booking guests into 2021, August of this year. So into August of 2021. But if you have a story, and we know you do, make sure you get in contact with me. DM me, DM your friend, DM, phone a friend, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you get in contact with me. I would love to have you here on the show as a guest. No stories too big, no stories too small. I would love to have you on the show. And if you have a friend of a friend of a friend who should be on the show, make sure they get a hold of me too. We are going live every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Just Like You, Everyday People, Amazing Stories. So make sure you tune in. Our guest is here. I'm going to get her in just a second. So just a couple of quick housekeeping issues. If the internet doesn't let us be great for whatever reason, we will be back. We are here 7:30 to 8 p.m. So sometimes the internet does wild and wonky things. Make sure you come back 7:30 to 8 p.m. Okay? Today and every Tuesday. I think I said Tuesday earlier. Did I say Tuesday? I hope I said Tuesday, but it's Tuesday. So 7:30 to 8 p.m. on Tuesdays. Let's get Perry in. Hello. Let's see. Oh, there you are.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Taryn?
Oh my goodness, look at you. You are so beautiful.
Thank you.
How's your day?
It's going okay. Just been doing homework for school. I want to actually do some art, but it's actually been school, so it's just school right now.
It's homework time.
It's homework time. It's just all school.
That's okay, right? It'll be. I mean, you always you try to put time in there to do some art, right?
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's only school right now because I kind of missed a month of school.
Oh.
But it was for a good reason. It was because
Okay.
I was living my best life. But I also did art things between that time. So now that it's time to get back to school.
Live your best life for all of us. So I want to get started. So for those of you who may not know, Perry is a long time, I don't want to call it like a family. So her mom and I have just been friends and sister friends for a long time. So I've known Perry for a long time. I wanted to have her on the show today because, as you can see, she's a beautiful lady from the outside. But what's super cool about Perry is she just had a birthday, right?
Yes, I did. 22.
Yes, congratulations.
Thanks.
Been someone who is beautiful on the inside as well. But what impresses me so much about Perry is that she has a story of what she does, and she's just super talented. So I have been able to witness her talent over the years, and it's just super cool to see young people doing their thing. And like she said, being able to live her best life and also be able to live her best life through her talent. So Perry, tell us a little bit about kind of your story, what you do. And I know you've kind of known you wanted to do this for a long time. So it's come to fruition.
Yeah. So I guess my earliest memory I could think of is being in preschool, and they would give us all these Play-Dohs, and I would have my plate, and I would get all the separate colors of the Play-Doh, and I would make one like a little snake, and I would get some red Play-Doh and put some red on the green. Like, it was getting really technical for someone who was about 2 or 3, you know. Like, most kids would just be squishing it around. I'm actually making stuff. You know, I'm in preschool though, you know. That's the one I knew it started. Another time, elementary school is when like I first had my cartoon, which was Awesome Girl. I developed her in first grade, and
Mhm.
I used to make all these little tiny uh comic books out of notebook paper during class, and I used to sell them on the playground for 25 cents. And everyone liked Awesome Girl, and they were asking for it every week.
An entrepreneur at heart, very
Yep.
young.
Just in the first grade. First grade is when it all started. So then I just started doing that, and I was like, yep, I want to draw. All my favorite cartoons started coming out around fifth grade: Adventure Time, Chowder, uh, what's another one? Regular Show. All of those started coming out, and I'm like, okay, that's exactly what I want on this, what I want to make on the TV screen.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when it just all happened. And then middle school, that's when I started taking classes and started getting more techniques and learning how to do pastels and paints and watercolors and all kinds of different stuff. And that was at the observatory. My mom knows the name of it. If
Your
she went
mom
to
said,
the
"Don't forget Banna, the monkey."
Oh, yeah, that she's talking about that was a book I actually made, like a it was like a blank book, and I took the cover and I wrote all the pages, and it was for a math class in 8th grade, and it was Awesome Girl and Vanna the monkey, and she really likes that one. I actually meant to go find it, so I'm sorry. I would have found it, but I can't find it. But yeah, she's talking about an old story I wrote in 8th grade for math class. It was like
Okay.
5 pages.
So I think that's super cool, like, to know what you wanted to do at that, young of an age, right? Now, I also heard you say, like, okay, you had this, you were drawing, you were creating, but then, there became a time where you wanted to learn more about technique and kind of
Mm-hmm.
put your creative with technique. And I also know you come from creative as well. So kind of tell us a little bit about that. Like, how did you know, like, okay, I'm not in kindergarten anymore, selling them on the, for 25 cents, that I want to make this into something that is really, viable for me. And I want to take it a step further to get educated on it. Cause I
Yeah.
think it's super cool. You took it, your love is in the detail. So you're putting these details in it there.
Yeah. I mean, my mom has a big part in why I even took lessons because she found everything. I mean, I'm in the 5th grade. I don't know how to work a
Mm-hmm.
laptop. I'm not going to find it where you are. So she did a lot of that in trying to get me to do art and finish and finalize and specialize in art from taking all those classes. Like, yep,
Mm-hmm.
this is for sure what I want to do. She kind of solidified or helped solidify the fact that that's what I wanted to do.
Okay. So she kind of, but you still loved it, yeah. So I think that takes, see, is Perry was identified as gifted in visual arts.
Yeah, that's what I was
But
talking about.
see,
Yeah, in middle school.
I think that takes, it still takes you and your power and your will to want, right?
Oh yeah, I
Even
wanted
though
that.
I see that and I say, okay, you were identified as gifted. You had to identify yourself as gifted too, and I think that's just amazing that you were able to, take that on and identify yourself and give yourself that self-confidence. Now you're in LA, so that's something that, is not, it definitely is seen around you, right? Like you can see
Mm-hmm.
it around you and take with it. But I think it's really nice that you were able to identify that for yourself and then go after your dreams, right? So I guess my question is, there's some young person out there now, maybe in high school, maybe they kind of say, I want to take on this dream, right? Not necessarily being a cartoonist or a storyboard artist, but a dream.
Mm-hmm.
And they know what they want to do at a young age. What advice would you have for them?
Well, I would say along like if you're like being creative or the thing you want to do is creative, I would say like put all of it out there on the internet. And I like kind of regret how it took me so long to finally do that because after I started doing that, like everyone pretty much knows me because of my art now.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't just like some pretty girl on Instagram. Like now I put my art on my Instagram. So it's like, oh, she's pretty and she can draw. Like
Right.
that's crazy. Okay. And like I would say put yourself out there because there's gonna be a lot more people that'll say yes than no. Of course, depending on you.
Oh,
So
I
yeah.
like that. I like that I'm gonna steal that little sound bite. There's a lot more people that are gonna say yes than no.
Mm-hmm.
And so what got you over that fear then?
It was the fact that I already got said no to like plenty of times. Like when I do like when I apply for internships or something like a specific competition or I submit some art, I never really won a real art competition. I've never really been accepted into any internships yet. And that hasn't really happened for me. But people see my art and they'll follow me on Instagram or they'll look at my story or they'll post something on my art on their story and that'll get people to see it more, and then people DM me like, oh, can you draw something for me? And it's like I'm becoming like popular in my own little way until it's official, you know. So it's just like keep doing your thing because most people are gonna like it and you're gonna get a lot more love than hate most of the time, because I thought I was gonna get like more rejection than acceptance, but I just realized like, oh, people like my art a lot. It took me a long time to realize that. So once I realized that not too long ago, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna put this out. Oh, I'll post that on my page, like, because I didn't think my art used to be good enough for my main account, but now it's like, oh, just put it up there, no problem, I'll post that. Yeah, so just keep doing it.
So just basically get over yourself and get over that fear and just go for it, right?
Yeah, because a lot of things that I can say that are holding me back is mostly this mental thing in my brain. So it's just like, I can't really describe it, but it's mostly me holding me back. There's nothing else in like my life physically holding me back from doing the things I want to do, because I've actually been I've been to Trippie Red's house and I actually have a lot of my art in his house now, which is pretty freaking sweet because he's my favorite artist.
So tell us, for the wiser folk like myself, meaning a little bit older, tell us who that is.
He's my favorite artist. He raps, sings, does all that. I like his style. I like the way he sounds. He's like basically the soundtrack to my life. I'm gonna actually show you this wall. It's kind of like a little shrine, but I don't want to make it weird. This is actually my Trippie Red wall over here.
Nice.
And it's just like pictures of us. Like I've actually been to his house, so it's like more stuff on there now.
So, but this tells us what I said. I wanted people to know who that was because I want them to know, like what you said before, like, you know, you've had a lot of times where people said no, where people said this, where people said that. And now look, you have been at your favorite artist house, you know?
Yeah, so and he has my art in his house. So these two posters back here actually were made for an artist that lives there in that house. And he actually, I gave him two of these, the same exact ones. And he actually hung them up the second I gave them to him.
And we're getting, Perry has been featured in the City of LA Department of Cultural Affairs African American Heritage Month Guide in 2019 and 2020.
Yeah, so, my little magazines with my mom.
So I think it speaks to, right, like coming to fruition, right? Yeah. Like who gets to say that they are in their favorite artist house, and who gets to say that other people of that person now have art of yours, all from you saying earlier in the interview that, you know, there's going to be some times where people say no, but there's going to be some times where people say yes.
And it's going to be probably the best person to say yes, or someone you're not even thinking about.
Yeah.
My whole mind was on Cartoon Network. I want to go to Cartoon Network. I want to work at Cartoon Network. Anyone at Cartoon Network talks to me, I want to go to Cartoon Network. But I wasn't even thinking about all the little things I can do. Like just going to, like, all I did was go to Trippie Red's house and bring my stickers, my little stickers with me. I brought my stickers and I just started giving them out. Like, oh, do you want a sticker? Actually, here, you can have this sticker. And that's all I did. I just showed off my art and they liked it, so they want more. And I'm the art girl now. I think that's how they know me.
Cool. Because, you know, like I said, I mean, that's why I wanted the people to know who he was, because I'm like, I know, you know, my generation, we're trying to figure out who that is. But your generation is on it, and you did it. And I think this is good for young people to hear that, you know, you just took this leap of faith, right? And you know, I think that is super cool. And I think now where you went from not being sure to now you're confident that, you know, your art has value. And, and you have value, most importantly, but that now your art has value, and that there are people out there, to your point, who are going to say, who are going to say, yes.
Yeah. And I think a good example of this is I just went over there the other day and I drew this painting right here. Whoops. There we
Oh,
go.
yes. Yes.
I drew this painting. I framed it. $4 frame. Just got it.
Uh-oh. I don't know if that's me or you. Yep.
And I'm like, oh, I drew this for you. Here you go. He goes, oh, thanks. And so he takes it. And I'm like, cool. So later that night, I go into his studio and I just see it framed right there where he makes all his music. And I just realized this morning, and I'm like, wait, he put that in his studio. So that means anyone who comes into a studio will see that, meaning famous people,
Right.
literally like, it's
Yeah.
pretty crazy. Like when I start thinking about it, I start getting really like excited
You,
because it's like, wow, like he is
you
propped
should
up
be
right
excited.
there.
You definitely should be excited. I think, any more like, so the first tip was put yourself out there, right? The first tip was don't be discouraged by all the naysayers. Go ahead and put yourself out there, make it happen. Any more tips you would have for young people? Or you know what? Just forget the age group for anybody really, because I think that comes with all of us. We're all scared of no.
I would say just be kind. Like just be
Uh,
nice. Be a nice person. Cause you don't know who you're gonna be nice to. And then you're like,
mhm.
oh yeah, she was really nice. And you know what? Actually I have a show I have a show that I need someone to storyboard. You seem like a nice person. Come on the show. That's literally all it takes. That's
Mhm.
literally it. And you just have being a nice person, letting things come to you, not being greedy, like just doing things out of the kindness of your heart will bring you all the things you want is what I'm realizing. Because who would have thought I was so down bad last month, and now I done went to Trippy Red's house like 3 or 4 times already. He got all my art in his house. Everybody knows me as Star Girl from his house. The sticker lady, like
Yeah.
like if you told me that, I would have told you that's not funny. Like I wouldn't have believed you. But it's just like I've been kind and I've been doing my own thing, and just this is what's come to me. Like
But
that's it.
that's simple advice. That's simple advice that's so needed. Be kind. Be kind. Like in this world of all this craziness, how simple, yet it seems like it's hard for some people to be just kind.
I'd be so surprised when people say you're so nice and really
Yeah.
just go on and on about how nice I would act, and I'm like, that's how you're supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm like, thanks. I'm glad I'm up there, but that's what you're supposed to do, or that's at least how I see it. Like this is just you just be nice, and I don't know what bad things happen to
Be
people
kind.
who are
Yeah.
nice.
I think being kind and being authentically you, being able to, and I
Yeah,
think that's probably another thing with your art. And maybe you can share a little bit on this. I'm sure that allows you to, you can be authentic through your art.
yeah.
You can
Don't be fake,
tell
because
a
you
story.
be fake and it just you're seen through immediately if
Yeah.
you're fake. That I've seen it firsthand, like at Trippy Red's house, when people act fake or think
Yeah.
they know, like, oh, I know all of your music, and they get put on blast and they're like, you get that is right there,
Yeah.
and when you're real and authentic with yourself, that's so valuable. It that is seen past everything else. If like, oh, they're real. Yeah.
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 But I'm sure
So,
that can do in your art too, though.
oh yeah, and in my art too, because I mean, yeah, you like, how do I say this? I would say being authentic in your art
Hmm.
requires you to be authentic in real life. So it's like, if you're kind of fake, I don't think you have good art. Or it
Ah,
would be like, I don't know, it's different. It's like you see like the goodness, or like
I like.
the someone's personality in the way that they draw things or what they've drawn, and sometimes your fakeness is translated through your art or your creative medium. So it's just like, keep
I,
it real. Your art is real.
I think that's a good point. I mean, I think that's probably too. It's almost like you're putting your good energy or bad energy into the space into your creative space, and you don't want any of
Mm-hmm.
that bad energy into a space that's supposed to be positive, open, and creative, right? So
Exactly.
really a great point. If you want work to be authentic, you have got to be authentic in real life. I think I'm going to put a pin in that one too. If you want your work to be authentic, people, you have got to be authentic in real life. And you've got to be kind. You have got to be kind to others. So what do you think? Well, okay, I want two things. I want you to, I'm gonna ask you the last and final question, but can you take us up close to some of your art? I know your
Yeah,
camera might roll around a little bit, but
I have some right here actually. Let's see. I have this. This one's one of my favorites. It's really small.
Nice.
This is acrylic.
Mm-hmm.
I painted it with these kinds of markers right here.
Okay.
Posca. And that's what it's made out of. And I have another one right here.
I like all the colors.
Thank you. This is my favorite, one of my favorite childhood shows. My Life as a Teenage Robot. This one's 8 by
I like
11.
it. It's
Thank
what,
you.
hun?
8 by 11.
Okay.
And I just have like a comic book I never really finished right here as well.
Oh, nice.
Like a whole bunch of pages. It's probably
Okay.
like 10 or 15. So there's one. And I just wanted to show like this is how like I come up with characters or sketch them. I just take some notebook paper and I just write, scribble, draw, doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Anything I think of, just literally write it down.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just everything. Doesn't even have to make sense. Just everything. Just get out on a page and then just go.
So you write down the script too with it?
Oh yeah, just everything. What they might say, their favorite food, something.
Okay.
How they would fight. Like here's a fight scene I just thought of this person might do. Oh, this person doesn't like their shoes tied this way. Like it's just stuff like that. It's just everything that I'm just thinking of with this person. Just get on the page and then come back to it later and then sit down and be like, okay, now let's just like get it together.
So is most of the artwork I see around you, that's all yours?
Oh yeah, most of this is mine. Some of them are posters. This is my other wall here. It's
okay.
a lot. Let's see. This way. This one's mine.
Yeah.
That one's mine right here. Below that one is mine right here. And the rest are just kind of stickers.
Okay.
Oh, and this up here, right here. I did this when I was a kid.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna show some of my fairy art.
Oh.
So I know, okay. So first of all, you guys, I'm not showing this because I feel like it's a treasure. Perry made me like a napkin like 50 years ago.
We were at a restaurant and I
We were at California
paper.
And she drew a picture of me when I had hair. So that will be, I don't know where I'm going to bring that out at. I'm going to bust that out.
It's in a bag?
When she tells people, no, the rest of this stuff is in a bag kept. The napkin, I think, is in my other drawer back there. But when she tells me she doesn't know me, I'm going to bust out the napkin later in life. So I'm going to go I'm going to save the most sentimental one for last.
Okay.
So this is something that you sent me, if you can remember.
Oh, that was high school. Oh.
And it says, Perry Murray is a Los Angeles-based artist who dreams of having her own cartoon on the Cartoon Network. She is a freshman in college, majoring in art studio. Watch out, because she is going to take the world by storm. That. Then you sent me this.
Yep.
And this says, hi, Miss Taryn. Thank you for your order. I appreciate you. Be safe and tell Kenny I said hello. So that's my husband. And then she sent me this, which is a little change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. These are so old.
Little change purse. And then the last thing I have to show today is she sent me this. Now, this is, and I don't know if you even knew this at the time, 2 days before I was going in for breast cancer surgery. So I know you put on there, like, we hope you have a good surgery, but I didn't know if you knew exactly what I was going into surgery for. So this is 2 days before she drew this, 2 days before I was officially cancer free. And it says, we love you, Taryn. We hope you have a good surgery. You are in our prayers.
Oh my gosh, that is so old.
Herself
So
and
sweet. Oh my gosh. Wow.
You can see that. So, one thing I guess to say with all this is, just when you think about being kind, right? Like this is kind, you know? This is things that, it's almost going to make me cry, even though I'm not going to cry. Like,
Yeah.
and your mom, she sent me as well something right before I was going through surgery as well. And so, those kind of things are like you say, just be kind. That's just a kind gesture to
Yeah.
to send someone that, you know, is going through a lot, and I just won't ever forget it. I mean, like you said, here's the little bag that it was all, there. And this is actually on standing up on one of my, on my office dresser. So I didn't fold it. I kept it just like you had it.
Oh.
And, just to your point of being kind, and you're showing your talent and being kind at the same time. And so that's to be applauded, right? Like, I think it's, especially in in our LA market. I mean, there's, there's a many reasons for you not to be unkind, because it's so, I don't know, tough.
It's hard out here.
But I just applaud you for being kind, and I applaud you for using your talent for good, because you're showing a lot of other young people, young women specifically, young women of color, that it's possible, and that you can be kind and be talented.
For sure. Like,
You know,
literally just seeing someone and just being like, hey, my dad probably has so many little tiny post-it notes, probably like about this big, all over his refrigerator, and it's just, I hope you had a good day today, or I'll see you later. And it's just little doodles, just a whole bunch of tiny little doodles, and he has all of them. And it's just like, whenever you meet someone cool, I just make them something.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's just how I like you. Like,
Well, I receive it, I take it, just I take it from the heart. You know what I mean? Not just the physical things, but I take it from the heart. So that is very important. So we're almost done. Can you believe it? Half an hour went by fast. What does the future hold?
So the future holds, I graduate in the spring next year, and I want to, with that degree, work at a higher position at my job, because I just need a degree to become a rec manager, because I work in the city, Los Angeles City, and I'm a rec assistant. So I want to be a manager, basically. You have to have a degree. So after I do that, then I will have more money, and then be able to support my art more, and then be able to have more art, and hopefully I'll be like getting my stuff out there, and someone would just see it, and then meet someone, or I really don't know. Like, I really don't know, because when I go, I have worked with an organization called Black Women Animate, and they have programs once a year at Cartoon Network Studios, and they have a panel of artists who work on shows come and talk to us. And one thing that they all say, they all have weird stories, and it's just like, well, I was just in my mom's apartment, and I turned in my portfolio to Nickelodeon for an internship, and they called me back, and I was living in New Jersey, and then they told me to come to LA, so I packed up all my things, and I went to LA, and now I live here, and now I work at Nickelodeon. Like, it's literally like that. You never know. I don't know who I'm gonna meet. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know who's gonna see it, but I'm just gonna keep making art and putting it out there, and hopefully somebody's like, I like what they do. I'm gonna see what they're all about, and hit me up and hire me and pay me money.
Someone says your art just hits different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Louis Tunes. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then your mom says future storyboard artist for the Cartoon Network. And
well, storyboard is just, that's not like what I want to do forever. That's just my like beginning job.
Yeah.
So then the point is to have my own show, just run the whole thing, know what's being written, know what's being drawn, know what's going on in all aspects of the show, because it's my show. That's what I want to do. I don't want to just storyboard forever because I think those processes are pretty tedious. I like them, but I wouldn't want to do them all the time. I like animating, but I wouldn't want to do it all the
Okay.
time, But the point is, I want to have my own show and have that like show title and then Perry Murray right there. That's the
Did
goal.
you hear that, folks? Show title, then Perry Murray. So, Perry, where is best for people to find you?
For sure, Instagram. Um, that's what I'm on the most. That's where I post my art, or where I'm going to be posting my art more. It's all in my highlights, but I will be posting more on my main account, post wise. So mostly Instagram. Trying to
What's
think.
your Instagram handle? Just say it out loud.
It's Perry Berry, Perry_Berry.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a Redbubble shop. It's in the link in my bio, so you just have to go on my profile and click on it. There's a whole bunch of stuff on there. It's a whole bunch of art I haven't even shown that's on there. So
Okay.
you can go buy anything, notebooks, t-shirts, pants, leggings, coffee cups. It's all on there.
So make sure you guys reach out to, well, wait a minute. Do I want to say reach out to Perry? I feel like I should tell them to come through me first.
I mean, you can reach out. That's cool.
wait,
I answer my DMs.
wait a minute. I know she's 22, but I feel like I should say you got to come through me or her mom first. But, you guys know Perry's Instagram handle, so I'm going to just leave it at that before I get angry. And then if make sure you go in her shop, though, most importantly, make sure you go in her shop and get some of her items. They make perfect little items for people throughout the year, and they definitely are feel good, cheer you up type of things. So these type of things, like I said, that I have will just make somebody's day to get them in the mail, and especially if they're going through something or just at any time. So make sure you go to Perry's shop and get some of her items, her original art from herself. And
Yes, I do commissions as well. So just DM me if you want something specific.
if you want something specific, there you go. And Perry, I just want to say thank you very much. I truly appreciate your willingness to come on the show. I applaud at 20 million times over the woman you're becoming. However, I applaud your mom and your family for all they do, not just like the physical stuff they do, but the mental stuff, for being kind, right? I applaud them for being kind and being authentic to me for probably 20 years, literally. So I just want to say I love you. I love your family. I am going to put this on my Instagram. I am going to put it on my Instagram story. I'm going to tag Perry on this, so she's going to have it on her story. And I'm also going to create a YouTube link, Perry, for yourself, and I'm going to send that to you later tonight.
Perfect.
So,
Thank you.
You're welcome. This has been episode number 40 of Just Like You, Amazing Stories. Make sure you're back here every Tuesday for another great story. If you have a story, and we know you do, make sure you get in contact with me. I would love to have you on the show. If you know someone who has a story, or know someone who knows someone who has a story, please make sure you get in contact with me. I would love to have you on the show. Perry, I hopefully one day you will get out this way, or I'll get back out that way. Until then, I want you to be safe, and I love you.
I love you too, Taryn. I'll see you later.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye.